Hi, welcome to the Blighted guide for 3.18. I'm gonna show you how I run Blighted this league and how I've been running for last 70 maps. I'm still testing this. I wanna run like 100 maps before I change anything. I did test some alternative without the tree point that increases the mods by 25%. Which is weird because I had like pretty awesome loot, and if we look on the graph we can clearly see it counts for my like top 4, 3 out of top 4 uh, results, or maybe 3 out of top 5, but anyway it's pretty weird. I'm gonna play without it to test. What's interesting is that this node increases the blight difficulty like triple or quadruple. I don't know. It's much higher, harder, and I never failed a blighted ravaged map without this node. So if you're struggling or you want to get into this strat and your build is not really endgame, my build isn't endgame yet, and I have like my upgrade ready that will double my damage. But anyway, I'm making it up with the damage with this node. So this is what I'm going to show you. So we use like the standard thing that we used in 3.16, the chilling tower and burning ground, which is basically a mandatory thing right now for ravaged blights. But what other streamers don't get it is like the oiling, right? So this is oiling and basically juicing the map, right? So this is where I think it's a value to show you how to get like in my statistics, right? So 110 chaos per map, and what's really interesting that we actually use the triple teal oil, which not only shortens the run but also makes it easier, which is kind of funny because there are more monsters spawning at once, but let's say the waves are shorter, so your meteor tower wipe them all at once. So it doesn't really matter if you stun lock 1 or 3 bosses, they get the same damage. Also, I'm using like seismic trap, so it's AoE and it's ranged build, so it's very good for blights. But previously I was running Necro, it was also fine. However, I felt like I have no control over what's dying, so I chose to play traps this league, and it's good because I don't have any reflects. I can roll them up however I want. So this is interesting and a bit of a shift from my previous strategies, and that I'm using actually Crimson Oil because it's only 2 chaos, while I actually sell opals for 9-10. It depends. The price of oils is crazy. I can't imagine like golden oil for 65 returning on our investment, or silver for 23. So that's way too expensive to oil with these oils. It's better to sell them. And this is what is this strategy about. So basically we use cheap oils. We run our maps fast. Most profit comes from at least what I feel is item quantity and rarity. So my strat is simple. When I hit like 40 plus, I just file it. See, I have 53, and what's interesting about Valorp is that you barely never, or I can't even recall that I ever hit like monsters cannot be stunned, monster speed cannot be reduced under the base value, or other shit, right? So it's basically very easy mods. Although I'm pretty concerned about the high roll maps. Those are all corrupted, and I feel like the loot ain't really much better. So I don't really know how this works. You see, the best scores were actually from the it's, let's say, without the epidemiology node, while having around 45, and if I remember correctly, those were not corrupted. So what I'm doing now is like I'm tapping down when I don't corrupt the map, and you see when I high roll it, like 55, 50, 48, so anything above 45, which is unidentified, I try to corrupt it. I mean, leave it not corrupted. Everything else I corrupt. You see that today I had pretty shitty results, so this was like probably 40 something and went down to 34, 29, 35, 32, 33. So this is a risk. So this time we are lucky and we got like 53, and we will see, right? So there's no more to it. Besides putting up fragments, which increased item quantity, which is transferred into 40% of more loot. Right, so now I'm gonna run the teal oil. So right, so according to the previous videos that I created, yeah, always put a portal right on the side. In this league, you need to put many glacial cages, even though there were like multiple nerfs. Those are still useful because sometimes you don't get nodes. I had like maps where you barely got nodes, and this is another thing why this is easier with teal oil, because the faster the lanes deploy, the more nodes you have for your tower, so you don't need to struggle. So if your lane has like no tower slots and you can't stun lock, it's a problem. You need to basically wipe this with your own damage, which can be let's say not possible, right? So so in the beginning I'm trying to like play it safe, so I won't have bosses, and even though I have one, I can, with my build, I can pretty much kill it right away. Right, so we go to the. Actually, I should have put the cold one here and booster here. Never mind. And a lot of meteor towers, right? So you see, I already have like another lane on my bottom, and yeah, I hope this can survive for a short time. So again, starting with this. Building fire, and you need to build quick on teal oils. You don't have time for anything. So I might lose because I'm talking, and you see I went too far to build, and this is already stopped by my glacial tower. You get hit by those shitty balls all the time, which makes it harder to build. So this is really challenging. If you roll like crit mods, multiple projectiles or whatever that one-shots you and you die, it can be a rip if you don't, let's say, secure your lanes. And I have a boss that's immune to cold, which I need to focus right now. And it's best to, yeah, put more glacial cages. So I need to kill this one. Not sure if I can. Yeah. It's actually stunned, so that's okay. And the boss on the other line is stopped. So I wanna kill this as soon as possible. Yeah, I have huge leaks, so to fix this. So you see, it's like it's still challenging with my DPS. If I double my DPS, that's like be easier, right? I don't want this boss to move. It's really annoying. I need more damage, but I can't really move, and I don't have tower slots, so this is leaking now because I moved. It's pretty tough, but it's over already. So if I kill whatever I see, it's done. So you see, it's like the run is for 3 minutes. I loot in another 2 minutes, so that's 6 minutes per map. Sometimes I fail because of the node, and yeah, you see I'm dead, but that doesn't matter. all the cold immune lanes are secured with stun. Yeah, so there are some like okay, again, that's pretty rippy map, but that's what you're gonna experience with this epidemiology. You see, even this mob is leaking. That doesn't matter as long as I don't leak anything else. So this map is pretty tough. I must say. Otherwise, it's not best layout, but it's okay. I will show you the bad layouts later. I have few maps. It's pretty ridiculous. They should fix it because it makes no sense. Like Caldera or Fields, this is so fucked up. I don't even run them. I'm just selling them. I'm buying bulk on TFT and filtering for bad layouts and selling them again. So that's what I do. I see no other option because yeah. So yeah, you could start looting at this point, although yeah, I prefer to kill everything. There are so many. I've already lost few portals, and there's so much shit that kills you now. So yeah, well, maybe I will just reveal the loot and just to show you what drops. It's not relevant to be honest. So what's cool is that there are now Guardian maps dropping, and it's pretty often. So yeah, so the maps are fine. Amulets sell for like 10C because of combinators. So people, you might be lucky and land some double res T1 life or something. People will get this. So there's a Strangle Gasp dropping. I dropped one, which I did not include in my profits, but that's 9x, which is also nice. It's pretty, let's say, pretty much standard loot. So yeah, as you can see, we dropped Golden Oil, which means we are lucky. Basically, we profit only from oils and exalts and exalted shards. Yeah, you see exalted shard, that's good. I also collect like breach rings. I'm gonna sell my first batch of them after 60 maps, I guess. It's maybe one per map on average. Essences, yeah. I will talk about essences in a second when I open. Oh yeah. So this is what I was talking about. So we get like another 20C or 30C if it's like shaper map. So the thing about Exilence next, right? So the prices. So I did filter like the oils. This is very simple to do if you wanna calculate your profit. So you see that I said like no price for the shitty ones. I don't even pick them up. This one is fine. It's 1C. You can transform into to a crimson one. We use crimson, so we fully sustain crimson oils. I buy like 50 maybe a day, maybe 2 day per 2 days, so not much there to see, so it's cool. What else? Yeah, I did not filter out essences, so that's a problem because you see they are like 1C each or even more expensive, right? So but you don't drop those deafening, you just drop screaming essences from Blight, which is bad. But what I did to filter out like shitty loot and the div cards, etc. So I just set the total price threshold for to see. So how it works is that we don't actually see. Oh, I don't have anything here, so maybe I will just loot this and show you how this looks in a filter. So for instance, we have like those offerings which are not 1C. I think they are not 1C. Yeah, they are not 1C. Okay, I'll just pick some shit from here. Maybe one oil, maybe a few fragments. So you just Yeah, okay, so we have a full inventory. So what I do to track profit is I have two tabs and I just fill them up. I just turn off affinities, so just drop everything to the tab. Right, so now we can take a snapshot. So I have a special profile that only shows me those two tabs, so I don't break any. We need to wait a little bit. Uh, so maybe I will talk about the layouts. So far I bended those layouts. This one is okay, I'd say, but I still prefer to sell it. I don't want to. I don't want losing, and this is all because I was like getting to this list. So I'd say 10 out of 14 were on those layouts. Yeah. So I had like a cool run on Caldera. I didn't ban it, and I ran it once. I failed. I ran it second time. I failed. So I knew that okay, this is bad. And why is that? Because you don't get the tower slots, or the tower slots are too far from the pump, and you need to hold the two opposite ways, and it's not possible. So I don't know why they make like 4 layouts out of, I don't know, 20, 25, maybe more, that are pretty much unplayable. Not many players know this, so they buy this, or they just run as maybe less juiced maps and they can afford this. I don't care. I'm just selling this. Right. So what else? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I just wanna show you how the Excience next show the loot, but it takes some time. So I'm just gonna use this to clear the loot from the map. Yeah, I have like very strict filter. I just customized it to get the oils early on. Now I filtered out like the shitty oils, but you can just sell the oils. So instead of upgrading them in a tab, just get everything to your stash and sell it to a vendor. It will transform them in a bulk, so you don't need to click a million times to I don't know, to transform. And what's cool is that Blight also drops those bases. So I found like few cool gloves and boots and other stuff that sells for 10, 15, 20, 40 C now. So this league is pretty good for Blighted, I guess. Yeah, I can show you like those gloves. So yeah, this is like damage converted to fire. It's not worth 15, but I sold like 2 for this price. There are some like, you know, the best stuff is already sold, so probably this is too expensive. But anyway, yeah, there are some additional items you can drop, and I never list them. So stuff like this, which is probably like 85 shaper. Okay, I believe yeah, maybe this is useless, right? It's a belt, but if you had like a ring or right, or a bone helmet, it's bone helmet 86 is like 20C now. Right, so there are like a lot of items that don't come into a filter, and we'll be Exilians next, right? So so this is the typical loot. So you basically profit out of free oils, which is also, yeah, because we corrupt, yeah, we have chance for tainted oil, which is 120C. Then golden is 65, which is cool. Exalted shards are like 8. You drop a lot of stack decks if you sell them in a bulk for maybe 2C. That's a profit. I open them because I like gambling, so I don't care. It still comes into a profit, right? But those are like separate things. So then you get a lot of maps. So if you're not sustaining maps, running Blight, I mean, if you run out of maps, then running Blight, that maps is great, because you will have like inventory full of maps. Just look at mine. Look at my tab. I have like 200 T16 that I can sell in a bulk on TFT, get some money, buy more beach or whatever layout you want to run, right? I have lots of Guardian and Shaper and other maps. I have all sort of unique maps that drop a lot. Probably you could sell like those Malcons that in bulk again. Yeah, those are 5C. Yeah, and you see everything, almost everything is filtered out, so I don't typically write down the essences because I don't sell them. You just get like the cumulative amount above 2C. So that has two effects. Yeah, I'm losing out of some loot, and I'm still getting like a shitty diff cards for 1C that shouldn't be here, but this weighs out against so the lost loot, and you sell scarabs, fragments, and other shit in bulk. So this is what it is. I think it's pretty fair calculation. Yeah, and that was my strat. I'm gonna run this, and maybe when the opal oil is cheaper, I'm gonna use opal. Maybe I'm gonna play by the end of the league with silver. The benefit of this strat is that we have not a lot of loot, so you don't have to loot forever. Like with the double silver and triple opal, you basically have so much loot. It takes 1 minute more than I did looting this. And yeah, it's actually value. So what you should be doing is like minimizing time. What I learned is that I can run 7 maps with rolling, etc. per hour. That would be with 107 chaos per map. That's 7046, and if we divide this by actual price is 4.3, right? But then you get like Guardian maps, which are not properly calculated by Exilus next. Then you get like random items. Then you get like some good jewelry. So I can also, if you're still watching this, you probably are like one on in 10 people or maybe less. So I can share this tip. So you see I have like 2 tabs of jewelry. I just put this 10C. If I fail one, I'm just emptying like half of another, and I'm just like replacing. I'm dropping everything into a quad tab. There are many games that I'm gonna sell for Game Cutter's Prism, but some of them gain value because people try out new builds, and those are like 23 or 20 corrupted 2021, yeah, corrupted version. So this might be a worth 10C one day, like a portal, right? So I think it can go up. But anyway, yeah, this is what I do. You see, I have a lot of rings that I should be probably putting in those tabs, and people just will ping you. So you can either sell them for 10C and land a lot of transactions, making up profit. So I can tell that I sold like 100 rings, maybe 200 eyes, and countless amulets. Those sell all the time because people roll the +2, so they buy the bases to get the good stats. And yeah, this is the additional to the basic profit, right? And this is cool about blighted that you can be lucky, right? So I haven't dropped Enlighten yet. I dropped many Empowers. Empowers are cheaper. This is pretty annoying because in the past leagues I was always dropping Enlighten from a normal blighted maps. So yeah. So just to know, just to have in mind that this is interesting, and I'm gonna play with that soon to see why am I getting such a good loot without this 25% epidemiology node. I can't tell. I'm gonna test this because this might be bugged. And the map is much harder because the monsters, you see the Ravaged map has like 200% more life and more movement speed, and this is increased by 1/4. So this is a huge challenge because of it. And all the damage and survivability mods are also increased. But on the other hand, we get like crimsons increased and teal and amber. So amber is necessary actually because if you don't spam meteor towers, uh, you won't make it. You need to have a lot of DPS. I have like 6.5 million total DPS right now. I'm gonna have 10 million by the end of this week. Yeah, so that will be easier. I might like get rid of one amber and maybe add opal, so I will be running 3 crimsons, 1 opal. Then I'm gonna maybe play with teal oil to see what is the value out of here. Maybe replacing it with silver, but for now I'm just like collecting my currency. I'm still at like, I don't know. Yeah, overall I'm like 30,000 KLs, which is not much because I don't wanna sell some stuff like my yeah, sextants or fusings, ancient orbs. I'm gonna use this. You can bank your profit in mirror cards because this goes up pretty strong. So if you earn like 200C, you can buy this card and it will grow in price, and maybe you'll get mage blood with farming ravaged blights. So okay, yeah, that's it, and good luck. And I'm gonna post some videos from my runs later. Bye.